Wonder is a pretty good film. This was released in 2017. It's directed by Stephen Chbosky and it's written by Chbosky, Stephen Conrad, and Jack Thorne, based on Wonder by R.J. Palacio. And we have a cast including Jacob Tremblay, Julia Roberts, Owen Wilson. I'm really surprised I hadn't seen this because I love the cast and it sounded amazing. It sounded like my kind of film. Fascinating, powerful, emotional. And I'm pleased to say, having watched it, the cast were great. And the narrative is amazing. It's about a young boy called Auggie, played by Tremblay, who was born with a facial disfigurement. And he was homeschooled up until this point, and he's in, I think, 5th grade. He's 10. And his parents have decided it's time for him to go to school. And this is largely what the film is about. With him being in the classroom, obviously we have other children around him responding to things, and it's a really moving story. We also have the emotions of other characters and little pockets of problems here and there. The narrative is very well written. There's a lot of substance. It's an enjoyable film, but it's not I was going to say it's not an easy watch. It's not as heavy as I perhaps expected it to be, and that's not a criticism. I guess the point there is that it's actually a lot more uplifting than it is depressing, and it's actually a comedy and drama. So while I wouldn't necessarily say it's funny, if you're looking for a funny film, there are some more light-hearted moments, and I thought that they were really valuable, and I think it definitely helps to make this kind of film more memorable. I think there are some great messages in this. It's ultimately a really great narrative. I think they handled it in the best possible story. The characters are very well written. The performances are brilliant. They're exactly what I expected them to be. And there is nothing about this that I didn't enjoy. As I said, I am really surprised I hadn't seen this because I love the cast. And as soon as I read the description, it's on Netflix. I discovered it randomly when I was watching something else. And I read the description on Netflix and just thought, that sounds exactly like my kind of film. How on earth have I not seen this? Well, I can say it was definitely worth the wait. The best part of a decade almost, which is quite scary. About 8 years. Well, just over 7. It was released in the November, apparently. But either way, however long it took me to watch it is completely irrelevant. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very well done. There is apparently Wikipedia calls it a spin-off and prequel, which is called White Bird. And I don't even know if I'd heard of that. I don't know if I want to watch it. There's no reason why I don't want to watch it. I just don't know if I'm that desperate to watch it. But maybe I will. If anybody has any thoughts on that film, then please feel free to share. But for now, certainly, I am very, very happy to recommend Wonder. I thought it was a great watch. Uplifting, moving, great performances, very well handled narrative. Absolutely no problems at all. And I don't think I mentioned the condition that Auggie has, which would be really helpful actually for educational purposes. It's Treacher-Collins syndrome, which I don't believe I'd ever heard of, so definitely a bit of an education there. It's a great film, very powerful. Partly upset that it took me way longer than it should have done to see it, but it was absolutely worth the wait. Wonder is definitely worth watching.